This video is to help you, make a lot of money selling our key product in Success Move Sales. And the key product is we will offer to outsource sales, the whole sales department, in fact, for companies. We pick on SME sized companies, not large companies, for obvious reasons. They'll be too overstructured. And we do all of the sales recruitment. We do the whole management, motivation and leadership. We in fact set up a CRM, which we pay for and manage. That CRM will have automated AI workflows in it. So we'll be sending follow-up messages, alerts, WhatsApp messages, SMS messages, all sorts of things to make those salespeople quite productive. And we recruit for what we call a sponsored sales franchisee, which are people, if you like, we want really people who want their own business more than commission-only salespeople, people who want a lot more, thinking a lot more long-term, wanting to build an asset permanently. In this video, I'm going to go into the details of what the product is and how to sell it and how to earn a regular and growing income from it. So let's start. Number one, I call it must have the product. It used to be called a sales partnership agreement, which didn't totally, that was fine, but it didn't work. And I found that using an acronym with a description of the product can really be memorable and stick in people's mind and help sell. So the must have stands for Managed Unrivaled Sales Team, what we're building, plus the have bit is hands off because they don't have to do anything. Advancement, because we're advancing their business and expanding their value in expansion. So that's what the acronym basically stands for. I've got a handout which I'm reading through here with all the notes which I'll be putting onto the account. So you'll have this next to the video to refer to, and please post any messages, questions, issues, challenges or successes into me doing it. So the must-have is an outsourced sales system that we sell. We basically sell it as a complete sales department, which we deliver as a total service. It's a bit like companies outsource their IT. That's actually very common, and it's just really doing it on sales, which is a lot less common. People outsource parts of the sales, but not really the whole department. We take the whole thing on. So who is the must-have product for? We're targeting companies that are established with lucrative products. We don't sell to companies that haven't got the money to pay for it. We also want any businesses wanting growth without major investment. So an alternative for the sort of growth we offer would require raising very substantial amounts of capital to fund that investment. We save them that. So typical companies might be firms of accountants. Accountants are established, lucrative, profitable, and don't know much about sales and marketing, and really rely on referrals, recommendations, heavy advertising, which usually is all wrong. So it's very attractive to firms of accountants or other professional firms, solicitors, architects, surveyors, whatever you like to think of. An ideal one for us is SaaS companies, software as a service, and any company that sells on subscription. Subscriptions are absolutely lovely because we earn a percentage of that every month and we keep getting paid, and it's very attractive to sell that. And any subscription company is good. Also finance firms. Finance is, particularly in the UK and London, there's lots of niches within finance, very sophisticated and unique niches quite often. And there's pockets of that which we will advise on that are worth selling to. So you can sell this to pretty much a large industry sector. You know, you can choose something that you've got some expertise, contacts or knowledge of to get this message across. Okay, 3, who is must have not for? These are the ones to avoid. Now, we will, as you know, a sponsored sales franchisee, we will help you and send you leads that are highly filtered. We'll filter 250 prospects down to 25 by the time we send them to you. So they're pretty hot, ideal, qualified people by the time you get them. But some will slip through the net, and the companies you don't want owners of businesses that want all of our fees on a results basis only. Now, our typical charge would be £1,500 a month in sterling, can be in any currency, for the infrastructure that we provide. I mean, there's tangible things there like a CRM system, VoIP phones, all sorts of things. And then 30% on their sales revenue. So if they sell for 10 grand, we bill them 3 grand, of which we pay our remote sales agents and ourselves from those two bits. So there's a part fixed cost, and then really the 30% is not just on sales, it's on their sales receipts. So that is usually meets very little resistance in there. But you don't want people who want to pay, you'll find this, they want to pay 40% of sales but not pay the monthly fee. Don't think about the mass of the money in that. That's an immediate danger sign that you're dealing with somebody that is not really suitable for us. Trust me, and I'll talk longer on that, but if even they talk like that, don't negotiate, move on to the next one. Who else do we not want it for? Well, anyone even wanting a discount, in fact, on that infrastructure fee. The infrastructure which is listed, would cost them, if they bought it directly, a lot more than £1,500 a month. So if they're wanting a discount on that, they're really not thinking of scaling their business. And we're looking at companies that are already established and profitable, and that's not going to be a great challenge to them. So we certainly don't want startups. Some people who have startups as entrepreneurs want to use a system like ours to recruit salespeople as guinea pigs to see who and where the products work with and so forth. Not interested in that. We're looking for real rock solid, proven, established companies. And also the final one is companies that lack strong leadership. I mean, I've been over 40 years in the recruitment industry, and I will say in every sector, at every level, the vast, mostly common reason anybody changes jobs is they've got no respect for their boss and they want to move. And a really great boss will keep somebody for below market salaries. People want good leaders. So if you've got a good leader, you can sell this opportunity. If you don't, if the leader is not really attractive to the salespeople we recruit, it will all go wrong. So don't insult anybody with that, but they really do need an inspiring leader. And that leader's got to have a vision for the future, which they share and identify with. So that's quite important. Okay, 4. What are the core problems we solve? Well, apart from the obvious, business owners want to avoid high costs and risk with sales recruits. Now, most companies, when they recruit salespeople in the traditional way, in an office, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, basic salary plus commission, they recruit probably about 10 before they get one that's productive and cracks it. That is seriously expensive. If you're paying 2 grand a person, that's 2 grand times 10, that's £20,000 a month, £60,000 in the first quarter, all at risk before you've got any sales revenue coming in. And of course, they very quickly get rid of the non-producers and it breaks down. Then the one that does make it thinks, hang on a minute, I'm getting a really tiny commission so as to fund all these loss-making people who don't get past break even. And they go to other opportunities, set up their own business, do something like ourselves, go commission only or whatever. So they tend to drop out as well. So it's extremely expensive and extremely high risk. Very few companies actually grow very fast doing that. And if they do, they recruit like 1-2 people a year, which will take forever to scale a business. So we solve that problem. The second one, like with the accountants, is they don't really understand sales and marketing and are very, particularly in the age of AI, and are happy actually to delegate it and outsource that to somebody who does have that knowledge. The AI aspect of it, there's very few sales managers and sales directors understand the implications of AI in sales. We've spent a lot of resource getting on top of that, and that's something at premium in Success Moves that we've got backup. We've got an AI company involved and so on. And they really want a simple hands-on solution, or hands-off from their point of view, that we do it all. and just pass them the sales, and when they've received the sale they pass us our commission on it. That's an ideal situation for them. And all of the problems of recruitment, managing, leading, infrastructures, CRMs, AI, they're all ours. So they're happy to pass that on. So 5, the must component, right? We're talking about manage unrivaled sales team, because we really do select people, because it's a sponsored sales franchise as opposed to people writing a check for us. We recruit and select. That means the people are really buying in, but they're buying in with their skills and their attitude and their experience. And we found there's certain types of people, usually the attitude is 90% of it, that actually make a success. So we select people that are really right profile for success. And that's one of our advantages doing it. But please apply, because we've got other things if that doesn't work out. So we do that. We set up AI trainers. So the AI trainers are actually live or virtual prospects, but they're live calls that you're making through, usually we set up 10 where each one is getting harder. So you can, often do it on the selection process. You can ring these AIs and try to sell them, and you might get through to them and might get a deal. And afterwards, they'll even give you feedback and a mark out of 10. So if you use it on selection, you can retry as many times as you like. And it's really good from a training point of view to actually get some practice and improve on your skill. We also have found that in this modern AI era, the salesperson who's focused on the phone excels. That's where the skill is, and that's where AI is lacking. AI is formidable at research, it's formidable at follow-up, it's formidable at a whole range of things, but still human beings want a personal contact. They want relationship, trust, like, rapport, this type of thing, which really comes from dealing with the person. We're selling to top owners of businesses a strategic change in the direction of their companies. So it's a big decision for them. They want to talk to a real person about this, but the AI will really back you up. So we have found that, field salespeople and people who've been in sales management or sales director who want to really manage teams rather than actually do it, can fail on this. It's people who are going to hit the phone. That is where the premium is in sales in this AI era. And that's where the security is and the wealth to be achieved in there. So that's quite important to us. And do bear in mind, with the outsourced sales department, the £1,500 a month, right? I mean, just recruiting one salesperson on average, we charge £6,000. In fact, the general sales recruitment industry, if you rang some sales recruiters, they'd charge you £6,000. We recruit to start usually a team of at least 3, usually 6. Well, 3 would be 3 6s or 18, double that for 6. They would have that cost just on the recruitment before all the other add-ons. So it really is a formidable deal to the prospective company. Okay, the have side, the hands-off advancement and value expansion. It depends. You must find out when you're talking to prospects what their plan is. They'll always be owners of businesses. Do they want to build it up forever and just get bigger and bigger and bigger, as many do, grow an empire? Some actually have a clear plan to sell it in 3 to 5 years, for example. That would make the plan quite different. If somebody's looking to sell the business, we really do add something very formidable to that. I've actually written a book on how to sell a business for capital gain, and our system really will help them because they're getting increased sales without a lot of risk and cost involved with it. So somebody buying their business would really love that. Now let's go to 7, which is the most important one. What's in it for you personally? Well, first of all, on those £1,500 a month, you get 50% of that. So there's immediately £750 a month per client that you would get on that infrastructure cost. Then when the 30% come in, the company charges, and that goes, obviously we've got to pay the sales agents from that, which we usually give them 20% and the company takes 10, and that 10 is then 50-50. So basically of every sale that everyone you place makes, every time they make a sale, you get 5% of the sales price, not the margin, the sales price. And that can really add up over time and when you grow the team. And of course, that's forever that they stay there. So that can be quite a formidable income. And of course, you own the portfolio rights. So you actually own that client that you bring in, and you've got an asset that you can sell within or without, actually, outside of the company. And we can talk about that in a difference. So we recruit for a company what we call a sponsored sales force. We recruit these SSS because they're thinking long term, they're thinking results, and we've done a lot of research and a lot of work we got wrong to learn just the right sort of profile, setup, and way of doing all of this to make it actually work. And we're pretty unique in that. I can't find a single competitor that really has that knowledge and skill, and it would be hard to duplicate what we do. So we payroll the people that we recruit through our own system, which will be similar to this. It will be based on results and commission, but again, they would have all of the support in there. This is not a commission only job where a company says, yeah, if you sell for us, we'll give you 10% of everything you sell, and then waits for the orders to come in. These people are getting full support of systems, marketing, lead generation, AI, voice agents, all sorts of things. We focus on, when we're recruiting, on people that have got an inclination to work remote. Most people want to work remote, most can't. At the end of the day, they need to be an employee in an office and have a boss tell them what to do. Left alone at home, they're not going to make 75 to 100 calls a day. They'll be lucky to get 25 out of them, right? We're looking for people who will really hit that phone as though they had a real toughest boss you can imagine looking over them and motivating them. So we attract better talent. We attract that talent through, well, we use job boards. We use LinkedIn quite a bit. We also are building up a school community called Club Rainmaker, which of course will be a portal to offer these opportunities. And remote to us is really quite, I've worked on this a long time to really sell and focus on remote recruitment, because remote means you've got the whole wide world to recruit people from. And there's a lot of money-hungry salespeople around the world that are living in places where the cost of living is a fraction of what it is in the UK, and various other motives. So you've got a very big population to find recruits from. And quite often, of course, the specific things, like if you want foreign languages with the fluency and so forth, or even people that can visit in a local area. But they tend to think, the people we recruit tend to think long-term productivity. They think more like entrepreneur business owners than employees who are just focused on the month end, thinking far more long term. So what we provide to the client with the totally outsourced sale is recruitment, CRM, AI follow-ups, AI trainers, sales scripts, sales management, contracts, payroll, reporting, compliance, full sales operations, everything they need for growth. We'll even write for them ebooks and run webinars if it's conducive to their product. When you sell a particular client, depending on what they do, there might be some specifics that are related to their industry. But when you are selling this, think more like you're a buyer than a seller. Think that when you go to a bank, for example, and ask for a mortgage, car loan, credit card, the first thing they do is give you a load of forms to fill in to see if you're good enough to be one of their customers. And then they credit check you and so forth. Think of the arrogance of that from a sales point of view. We get a bit like that with this product. We do not want to take on a long-term client that's not going to make us money and give us a load of headaches and be difficult to sell. We want it lucrative, profitable, the sort of thing that any salespeople would jump at because it's a gold mine of opportunity. And if you've got any doubts about any of that, move on, because you do not need a lot of clients to get very, very wealthy. You could do it on one, but I think one is risky because all companies something could go wrong with them. So I would suggest 2 or 3, a maximum of 5, 6, because you'd be very wealthy there, and you would be spend more time building a team to support all of that rather than focused on sales. And with us, really, sales is the first thing, the cold approach, well, warm really, because they're highly enriched to get the deals, and then servicing those clients. What the client does? Well, pretty much nothing apart from the product training and information related to their specific markets and situation. They do no hiring, no managing, no supervising. They need have no knowledge of sales. In fact, the less knowledge they've got of sales, the better, because they will just leave us to it. Quite often we found a sales manager, a sales director can be a problem because they think they know everything. And trust me, one of the things we found that the way that you recruit and manage and motivate and lead a remote sales team is dramatically different to how you would do it in a traditional office setup. Totally different sort of profile of person recruited, different way that you monitor, manage, and look after them and nurture them and grow their team. So why clients buy must-have? Well, the points we've already made. It's hands-off, it's low fixed cost, it's pay on results and receipts of results for sales, complete sales department, AI enhanced performance, scalable growth, predictable outcomes, professional, structured, reliable sales team that it's our problem to grow and replace, no recruitment fees, right? It removes complexity, risk and stress from them. And if you're a firm of accountants, for example, the partner in a firm of accountants is too busy doing accountancy stuff, hasn't got time to think about sales and marketing, right? So it's really beneficial to them. It's really a very hot product to be selling. So as a sales agent selling this, the first thing you do is ring, and we'll give you an enriched list, because first contact with what we call the golden 25, an ideal 250 reduced to 25 ideal projects via we'll give you a CRM system with full AI backup. So a lot of the work you won't even have to do yourself, but you have to set it up. You have to make the first contact to get it into the system for all the automations. So be choosy who you offer this to, and come over with that attitude, and you'll be surprised how they start selling to you. Please take us on board. You need to explain the model clearly, and bearing in mind you only have to get on the phone to get an introduction, because you can have me, whoever, on the Zoom meeting to actually explain it into more detail and do all of that for you. Emphasize that it's totally hands-off, low risk results, right? And position the must-have as must-have. It builds trust, show confidence, sell the simplicity, growth, the value expansion they're going to get. It really is incredible. I mean, I've been in sales a long time and I've sold a lot of products, and I tell you, this is about the easiest thing that you can be selling and the most lucrative long term. So the must-have promise is KPIs, key performance indicators, must be met before each monthly fee is due. This comes up as an objection. You know, they're thinking, well, hang on a minute, we're going to get you 3 people guaranteed before the end of month 1 before we build the second £1,500, right? And you've got to commit to that. And that's really, if you're not doing that, you're not doing the job. But we have KPIs that we keep to in each stage. We really give them a 3-month build-up. It changes per company and their market. But we really think in terms of 3 months to build up before it starts rolling. The first month is setting up infrastructure, recruiting a team. The second month is training them, getting them into first contact, and month 3 we're starting to get results. So all of that we commit to. We put that in writing in the contract. And the sales process, you start with the golden 25, as I said, picking the ideal prospect. Call them, ask for an online meeting with the senior staff, probably me, enter into our CRM system to get the automatic follow-ups. Then the online meeting happens, proposal followed up from that, closing phone call, contract sent for signing, delivery begins. Right, very simple. In the delivery process, we agree the full details, products, prices, margins, market, etc. There is usually a lot of details. We then set up the 3 months as I explained. We start advertising for people. We write role descriptions from a template that I've done. You only have to adjust the one I've already got, which works. Don't tinker with it. We record the video for a role description because we find that works, that personal touch works. And we send all applicants the role description for self-filtering. So we send them a load of details on the opportunity and they self-filter. You know, it's designed to filter out the ones that aren't appropriate, and it's designed to excite the ones that are. And that's quite interesting in itself. Then we shortlist, interview and offer. And then we design and implement the AI trainers and sales scripts and get them really going, get them moving fast. And we've learned by experience that people don't need a couple of weeks to learn this, learn that. We really want them on the phone day one. And whatever support we have to give them, it has to be really quick to get them on the phone. You've got to start people off with a work pattern that sets the norm to what they're going to expect. That will vary a bit depending on the type of product and service being sold and how it's sold. But usually it comes down to phone calls, how many and quality and who and so forth. Okay, so there's the delivery part of it and all the aspects there. As I say, I've got notes for you, so you can refer to this. You can play this video again and to ask me any questions. And I tried my best to actually cover as much as I can. It really is an exciting opportunity, and we want to really be building up and going with this and building up some teams. But the key thing is getting the right prospects. So I can't emphasize that too much. We're not looking to make 100 cold calls a day for weeks and weeks and weeks until we're getting somewhere. We're looking to cut that list down and get some really chosen ones, because when we pick the right people, you're not going to have to do a lot of sales work before you've got some clients. But when you start off, you're earning nothing. So get that first part done quickly and behind you and start building a quite formidable income. And on an individual basis, we'll work out what your goals are and make sure, and I will commit to do everything humanly possible to make it all happen. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.